is the bhajan. So I think I will introduce Maharaj and then you know which bhajan to do. Okay. So I think Maharaj will include all of it.
Who's going to be singing this song? Could he come? That'd be nice if he could come. Yes, I know. That's why I'm asking. No baby babble, okay? If the baby starts to babble, you know what to do. Yeah. Did you learn this song already? You know it?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to see it on the screen. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't need to look. You need to have your back to it. Okay. Go ahead. The people that are talking over on the other side, could you let them know that's not a nice thing to do? Thank you. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to Hare Krishna Temple of Austin. We are very blessed today to have association of His Holiness Romapada Swami Maharaj on this auspicious occasion of Govardhan Puja. Maharaj doesn't need any introduction as most of us are already familiar with Maharaj, who is kind enough to give us his association every year by visiting our temple. However, I would just very briefly like to introduce Maharaj for the benefit of our new congregation members and guests today. Maharaj is a direct disciple of Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and has been serving the movement and devotees in various capacities for over 50 years since he joined the movement during his own college days. Maharaj lays great importance to college outreach and cultivation of spiritual knowledge in students and youth. Maharaj has many disciples throughout the world who, along with Maharaj, inspire and educate students at various colleges and universities in the science of God realization through multiple programs and Krishna conscious student organizations. Perhaps some of us might have been extremely fortunate to come in contact with either Maharaj or one of his disciples through these programs and are as a result here today. Maharaj tours across the world giving lectures on topics about Krishna and educating people in the science of self-realization. And today we are fortunate to have him amongst us. So thus I would like to thank Maharaj for giving us his holy association and request you all to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once to welcome Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We're going to begin this evening with a song by Jiva Goswami. It's very simple. And you're going to see the words in Sanskrit, which he's going to sing. And then you want to read the translation? After the Sanskrit, the translation?
Okay.
Or your companion?
It's a call and response, so do you want me to read
the response? Like, look at. What about that part? What's going to happen there? Whatever you want. That's what I want. Okay. Okay, so you want to say some introduction or however you'd like to begin? The floor is yours, as you wish.
Bear with me. I just learned this.
It's nice to learn something all the time.
all in response where they're asking who has arranged the worship of Govardhan Hill. And then the second part of each verse is a response, which is pretty much ornamenting like the pastime of Lord Krishna and Govardhan Hill, how they moved the procession from Lord Indra to Govardhan Hill. So let me see here. Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Arachi Shakra Padama Abhayam Yena.
Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Achi Chakra Padam
Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Arachi Sakra Adham Abhayam Yena.
Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Adachi
Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Arachi Sakra Adham Abhayam Yena.
Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Arachi Chakra
Who has arranged the worship of Govardhan Hill? The one who arranged this worship is the one who freed us from the fear of Lord Indra. Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Putanika Sanihata Yena.
Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Bhutani Kasha Nahata Yena.
Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Putanika Nihata Yena.
Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Bhutani Kasha Nahita Yena.
Who has arranged the worship over Govardhan Hill? The killer of the demon Putana is the one who arranged this. Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Trena Vartatanu Dalanam Yena.
Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Vinavartakanu Dalanam Yena.
Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Trena Vartatanu Dalanam Yena.
Giri Pujayam Vihitam Kena Vinavartakanu Dalanam Yena.
Who has arranged the worship of Govardhan Hill? The one who destroyed the body of the cyclone demon, Trinavarta, is the one who arranged this. Giri pujeyam vihitam kena Yamala Arjuna tarum udakaliyena.
Giri pujayam vihitam kena Yamalarjuna yena.
Giri pujeyam vihitam kena Yamal Arjuna taru udakaliyena.
Giri pujayam vihitam kena Yamalarjuna tarum udakali yena.
Who has arranged the worship of Govardhan Hill? The one who uprooted the twin Yamala Arjuna trees is the one who arranged this. Radha Damodar. Giri pujeyam vihitam kena vatsabakasura hananam yena.
Giri pujayam vihitam kena vatsabhakasura aranam yena.
Giri pujeyam vihitam kena vatsabakasura hananam yena.
Giri pujayam vihitam kena vatsabhakasura aranam yena.
Who has arranged the worship of Govardhan Hill? The killer of the calf demon, Vatsasura, and stork demon, Bakasura, is the one who arranged this. Giri pujeyam vihitam kena Vyomagasura mara nam yena.
Giri pujayam vihitam kena Vyomagasura maranam yena.
Giri pujeyam vihitam kena Vyomagasura maranam yena.
Giri pujayam vihitam kena Vyomagasura maranam yena.
Who has arranged the worship of Govardhan Hill? The killer of the flying demon, Yomasura, and the python demon, Agasura, is the one who arranged this. Giri pujeyam vihitam kena Kaliya damanam kalitam yena.
Giri pujayam vihitam kena Kaliya damanam kalitam yena.
Giri pujeyam vihitam kena Kaliya damanam kalitam yena.
Giri pujayam vihitam kena Kaliya damanam kalitam yena.
Who has arranged the worship of Govardhan Hill? The one who subdued the cobra, Kaliya, is the one who arranged this. Giri pujeyam vihitam kena kara pralambaka samanam yena.
Giri pujayam vihitam kena Karapalam bhakta samanam yena.
Giri pujeyam vihitam kena kara pralambaka samanam yena.
Yeni pujayam vihitam tena parapalam bhakta samanam yena.
Who has arranged the worship of Govardhan Hill? The killer of the donkey demon, Dhenukasura, and the demon Pralambasura is the one who arranged this. Jai Krishna. Giri pujeyam vihitam kena tava yugmam pari vihitam yena.
Yedi pujayam vihitam tena dava yugmam pani vihitam yena.
Giri pujeyam vihitam kena dava yugmam paripayitam yena.
Yedi pujayam vihitam tena dava yugmam pani vihitam yena.
Who has arranged this worship of Govardhan Hill? The one who swallowed 2 forest fires is the one who arranged this. Giri pujeyam vihitam kena trasyati kamsa satatam yena.
Yedi pujayam vihitam tena prasyati kangsha tam yena.
Giri pujeyam vihitam kena trasyati kamsa satatam yena.
Yedi pujayam vihitam tena prasyati kangsha tatatam yena.
Who has arranged the worship of Govardhan Hill? The one who Kamsa is always afraid of. Giri pujeyam vihitam kena trasyati kamsa satatam yena.
Yedi pujayam vihitam tena archati chakra padam abhayam yena.
Giri pujeyam vihitam kena trasyati kamsa satatam yena.
Yedi pujayam vihitam yena archati chakra padam abhayam
Jaya
yena.
Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhe.
Jai Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhe.
Jaya Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhe.
Jai Radha
Jaya Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhe.
Jai Radha Giridhari Radha.
Jaya Krishna Kanaya Lala Krishna Kanaya Lala Krishna Kanaya Lala Krishna Kanaya.
Krishna Kanaya Krishna Kanaya Krishna Kanaya Krishna Kanaya.
Jaya Krishna Kanaya Lala, Krishna Kanaya Lala, Krishna Kanaya Lala, Krishna Kanaya Lala.
Jaya Krishna.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo.
Haribo.
Radha Giridhari ki.
Pretty good. He just found out about this song this morning. I also just found out about this song this morning because some devotee that sang it yesterday at their temple said you might be interested in this, and I was really interested. Very simple. Govardhan and Krishna. There's a very nice section of Gopal Champu. Gopal Champu is a very nice literature written by the same Jiva Goswami, Gopal Champu, describing Krishna's pastimes. Gopal Champu. And in Gopal Champu, Krishna has a conversation with Srimati Radharani in Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world. And Krishna said to Radharani, it's time for my appearance in the created realm. I'd like you to come with me. And Radharani said, yeah, but she said, how is it possible to leave Vrindavan without Govardhan Hill and the river Jamuna and the forests of Vrindavan? And Krishna said, it's already been arranged, let's go. And so she agreed, and sure enough, Govardhan Hill was present for Krishna's pastimes. And this evening we're going to hear a little bit about how Govardhan appeared in Vrindavan, according to one of our scriptures. In fact, the scripture that we're going to refer to is Garga Samhita. Garga Samhita describes that long, long ago, Palasya Muni, who was from Kashi, was on pilgrimage. And when he was on pilgrimage, he went all the way to Shamali Dvipa. Now, where's Shamali Dvipa? Well, it's found in the Vedic cosmology, but it's hard to say it's this way, that way, or the other way. It's another realm, but Palasya Muni had the capacity to go to this other realm. And he saw Giriraj, who was the son of Dronachala in Shamali Dvipa. And he made a request. In Kashi, there's no mountains like this. And this mountain, Giriraj, is so charming. Please, my request of you, please come with me to Kashi so that I can enjoy your slopes, engaging in my austerities forevermore. And Giriraj cleverly agreed on one condition. What was that condition? I'll go with you. You have the mystic power, like is shown here, to lift a mountain. But wherever you set me down, that's it. I'm not going further. No problem. So he agreed. And when he lifted the hill, according to Garga Samhita, really big, 115 kilometers long. That's long. 72 kilometers wide and 29 kilometers high, or 16 miles high. Not today, not 16 miles tall. Now the hill in the tallest place is only 80 feet tall. So how did that happen? From 16 miles to 80 feet. That's a big difference. The bottom illustration shows, as Palasya Muni was traveling in the air, holding Govardhan Hill in his hand, he suddenly had to answer the call of nature. And so, by divine arrangement, he had to answer the call of nature. So he set Govardhan Hill just as he was passing over Vrindavan. And he did his business, came back and ready to carry on to Kashi. And Govardhan said, sorry, Palasya, but the arrangement was, wherever you would set me down, that's it. I'm not moving after that. And Palasya was a great sage. He understood what was going on. And he felt tricked. So the painting at the bottom is showing he's pointing his finger at Giriraj, saying, you tricked me? Very well, you can stay here. But I give a curse that you'll shrink the size of one mustard seed every day. Now, mustard seed is small, but you put a lot of years together, and 16 miles is now 80 feet. Govardhan is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and may one day disappear from sight. There are places along the stretch of Govardhan Hill where the hill of Govardhan is already practically not visible. However, the Brijvasis say there's no question Govardhan being cursed by anybody, a sage or anybody. Rather, Govardhan Hill is diminishing in size due to feelings of separation from Krishna. It's a transcendental arrangement any way you want to look at it. Those of you that are over there, can you see the screen? 20%? 50%? You can see. 100%. You can hear. You can see through your ears. When you invite me, you may need a second screen over there for people that are unable to fit into our little space. Here's another nice painting showing Palasya carrying Govardhan Hill. Now let's hear some of the glories of Govardhan Hill, because they're abundantly described in many places. One of those places, right in Srimad Bhagavatam itself, where there are many nice songs where Radharani specifically is honoring Govardhan Hill as the best of all Krishna's devotees. Really? The best of Krishna's devotees. Now, sometimes we might hear Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, means Shambhu is the best of all the Vaishnavas. Or we might hear that the residents of Vrindavan are the best of all Vaishnavas. Or we might hear the gopis of Vrindavan. There's a very nice commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam by a very old, many generations ago, Vaishnava wrote a commentary, and he expressed that according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vrajavadu Vargena Va Kalpita, the best of all the worshippers of Krishna. There's many ways of worshiping Krishna, but the best is the Vrajavadu Vargena, the group of cowherd damsels in Vraja. And then we can get a little more specific, and that's Radharani. But Radharani or the gopis themselves express right in Srimad Bhagavatam that Govardhan Hill is the best. And so they offer a prayer. Oh, my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram, along with their calves, cows, and cowherd friends, with all kinds of necessities. Water for drinking, very soft grass, caves, fruits, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respects to the Lord. There's a very nice verse in the prayers to Govardhan Hill that Radha and Krishna have stayed in every one of the caves of Govardhan Hill. It's an artist's depiction of many different caves. Of course, they're not sitting in a cave. They're sitting on a nice seat somewhere by the side of Govardhan Hill. Govardhan also features soft roots for eating, jewels for ornamenting the body, and flat places for sitting. These are directly taken from scriptural statements. Here's Krishna and Radha seated by the side of Govardhan Hill. And another very nice painting where they're not on a flat stone, but they're at the base of Govardhan Hill, enjoying their loving pastimes together. In this way, the hill offers respects to the Lord, according to the gopis. Thus, Krishna in the form of Govardhan Hill shows how to render pure devotional service. Nice? Pure devotional service. Now, there's one way of saying that Govardhan Hill is the best of Krishna's servitors, but we also have an understanding that Govardhan Hill is non-different than Krishna. We'll see that shortly. Here's an aerial photograph of Govardhan Hill, and it's a little bit at a tilt because Govardhan Hill literally is north and south, but to fit it into the picture, it's tilted. And if you look closely, you'll see on the lower left that is like the tail of a peacock. In the center is Govardhan town, that's like the torso of a peacock sitting on the branch of a tree, and then a long, narrow neck of the peacock, and up top is the face of the peacock with two eyes, Radhakund Shamakund. So it is said that Govardhan Hill is shaped like a peacock. Now, how many here have circumambulated around Govardhan Hill at least once? Okay, those of you that haven't, please do. Even the older generation folks somehow figure out how to. Don't just ride in a rickshaw or a car or a taxi or something. Try. Even with your little ones. Try. There's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people today walking around Govardhan Hill. Throngs of people, morning till night. And at this place of Govardhan Hill, there are many pastimes where Krishna and the gopis performed pastimes together. This one is showing they're making some nice offerings to Krishna. And we'll tell more about those pastimes in a little bit. So today, it's the day after Diwali, And the day after Diwali was the day that Nanda Maharaj was planning to have a big yajna in honor of Lord Indra, because in countries all over the world, this is now harvest season from the growing, and they take the harvest and have a big festival. So their big festival was perform a yajna in honor of Indra, because Indra had supplied nice rain. Because of nice rain, they had abundant crop production. They could feed their cows and so forth and so on. So they wanted to not be ungrateful. They wanted to be grateful. So they wanted to offer appropriate expressions of thanks, of gratitude to Indra. So on that particular day, Nanda Maharaj was organizing all the paraphernalia and the brahmanas and so many things. And little Krishna came along with some of his little friends. And he asked his father, "My dear father, please explain to me what is planned here. I'm your son, and it's your duty as my father to explain everything and explain it in honest terms that I can understand. So please explain to me what the plan is." So Nanda was smiling. His son wasn't being inappropriate. He was just wanting to learn. So Nanda explained, our entire occupation is, as Vaishyas, we engage in Krishi Go Raksha, agriculture and cow protection. And both agriculture and cow protection depend upon supply of rain, because without rain, we won't have either. And Indra has supplied abundant rain, and so now that we have our harvest, we want to express our gratitude to Indra for supplying such nice things. Now there's many different versions. It starts to become variegated through the different Garga Samhita and Gopal Champu and other texts. I'm just going to keep a very simple line because time is limited. So Krishna gave a very interesting argument. He said no. But his reason to say no was a karmakanda reason. What's karmakanda mean? Karmakanda is an atheistic philosophy. Do you know that? Karmakanda, Krishna is arguing atheism. Ooh. And his argument was, my dear father, whether there's Indra or not Indra, whether there's God or not God, don't worry. Just do good work. Because when you do good work, the person who is in charge of dispensing the results of good work, bad work, they're obliged. That means karma is above them. Just do good work. Don't need to do all this worship thing. There's a philosophy called karma kanda, or karma mimamsa. And karma mimamsa philosophy says what Krishna said, or Krishna said what karma mimamsa philosophers say. Lord Indra cannot in any way change the destiny of human beings, which is born of their own nature. Why should people worship him? Ooh. May a sacrifice for the pleasure of the cows, the brahmanas, and Govardhan Hill begin. Take all this paraphernalia that you've gathered together for this yajna for Indra. Instead, use the paraphernalia for worshiping the cows and the brahmanas and Govardhan Hill. Make a big feast, just like out there in the courtyard. Make a big feast and place it before Govardhan Hill. Now, some commentators say Nanda Maharaj is smiling at his precocious little boy and said, how about half goes to Govardhan Hill, the other half goes to Indra? Krishna said, no, everything goes to Govardhan Hill. Let many different kinds of food be cooked. Sweet rice, vegetable soups, fancy cakes, baked and fried, and milk products taken for this sacrifice. Let the Brahmanas, who are learned in Vedic mantras, properly invoke sacrificial fires. Then, after the yajna and the offerings, feed the priests with nicely prepared food and reward them with cows. Somebody can fix the sound, it's got some feedback. Reward them with cows and other gifts after giving food to everyone else, including such fallen souls as dogs and dog eaters. I don't know if they had dog eaters in Vrindavan, but feed them anyways. You should give grass to the cows and then present your respectful offerings to Govardhan Hill. Now, look at the painting. There's all the offerings. There's Nanda Maharaj, and there's the assembled Vaishnavas of Vrindavan. And there's, who's that in the background? That's Lord Hare eating all the offerings. After everyone has eaten to his satisfaction, you should all dress and decorate yourselves handsomely and then circumambulate the cows, the brahmanas, the sacrificial fires, and Govardhan Hill. There's Govardhan Hill. There's Krishna giving his instructions. You see him pointing at the hill. And Nanda Maharaj is looking where he's pointing, and Balaram is by his side, and everyone's ready to do whatever Krishna wanted. The cowherd community did all that Madhusudana had suggested it. They arranged for the brahmanas to recite auspicious Vedic mantras. Using the paraphernalia that had been intended for Indra's sacrifice, they presented offerings to Govardhan Hill and to the brahmanas. There you see Nanda Maharaj doing Abhishek of a Govardhan Shila. That's nice. They also gave grass to the cows. There's a big goshal, pretty fancy goshal. Looks like a palace. Then, placing cows and bulls and calves in front of them, they circumambulated Govardhan Hill. There's another cow palace. They have a place called Cow Palace in San Francisco, I think. Yeah? You've heard of a place like that? The big hall. They call it Cow Palace. Anyway, they're not so Vedic. They do other things inside that Cow Palace. So here's Krishna tending the cows, feeding the cows, the residents of Vrindavan fulfilling the instructions that Krishna gives. And here's a nice little drawing showing they're doing exactly. There's the brahmanas on the right, and there's the cows and Nanda and Jasoda, and they're all circumambulating around Govardhan Hill. Now today's Govardhan Puja. At the end of this month, I'll be in Houston, Texas, having a lengthy seminar on Light of the Bhagavad. 13-part seminar over the Thanksgiving holiday. And this is a painting from Light of the Bhagavad. It's a nice painting. It's the Anukut, it's big mountains of rice and cooked things, etc., that Krishna had recommended, and it's been offering to Govardhan Hill. The painting taken straight from that book. And here's the place that there's a long stretch of Govardhan Hill where it's quite tall, and this is where the Anukut was set up. Big, 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 big space. Big space. Then, just to prove and give confidence to the Brijbasis, Krishna assumed a huge form of Hare, and he declared, I am Govardhan Mountain. And then Krishna, on the left there, he came before Lord Hare, who's on the right there, and paid his obeisances. So everyone could know how they should also do. Now, this is one of my favorite little sections of the Govardhan Leela. There's 3 Krishnas. There's Krishna, and Govardhan is also non-different than Krishna. Now, Govardhan is the best of devotees of Krishna, but he's also Krishna. He's demonstrating, I am Govardhan mountain. Just see how this hill has appeared in person and bestowed mercy upon us. So Krishna, offering his respects to Sri Hari, he then proceeded to eat everything. After he ate everything, there was nothing left. What happened next? He said, Aniyor, Aniyor. In the local language, that means, I want more. I want more. But they had given everything. So were they going to get more? So they scrambled around in nearby villages and they offered whatever they could. And Krishna said, Aniyor, Aniyor. They didn't know what to do. Balaram knew what to do. Balaram gave Hari a tulsi leaf, and he was satisfied. So just past, as you're going around Govardhan Hill, you go past the place where the Anukut was performed, and there's a large village continuing on. It's called Aniyor. It's a very nice place. There's many nice places within Aniyor too, but that's another visit to Vrindavan. So Indra saw all this that was going on, and he understood this little boy just interrupted a yajna for me, and now they're accepting Krishna instead of me as their Lord. So there's Indra leaning over a cloud, giving instructions to Samvartika. Samvartika is a cloud that brings destruction. During the time of cosmic annihilation, this special Samvartika cloud is the cloud that brings waters of devastation. And Samvartika didn't want to bring devastation to the Brijvasis, but he's the servant of Indra. And so, imagining himself to be the supreme, Indra told the clouds, go and remove the pride and bring their animals to destruction. Bad. I will follow you riding on my elephant, because Indra has an elephant carrier, Airavata, and taking with me powerful wind gods to decimate the cowherd village of Nanda Maharaj. He's going to kill the cows and drown them all. He got really carried away. Passion can sometimes turn into ignorance. So, on the Indra's order, there's some Vartika cloud pouring torrents and torrents and torrents and torrents and torrents of rain. So much rain, they couldn't tell high ground from low ground. The place was completely flooded, and the water was rising. Clouds blazed with lightning bolts and roared with thunder as they hurled down hailstones. Clouds released torrents of rain as thick as massive columns. And the earth was submerged in the flood. High ground could no longer be distinguished from low ground. Very dangerous. The cows and other animals shivering from the excessive rain and wind, and the cowherd men and ladies pained by the cold. What do? Krishna! Govinda! Did you happen to see that latest recording of Jahnavi? Check it out. It's really good. Govinda. I mean, 3 different recordings. She's on a tour, started in Los Angeles. It's got already, several thousand views just 2 days ago. Really good. Govinda. Of course, he's not known as Govinda yet. It's still Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, oh, most fortunate one, please deliver the cows from the wrath of Indra. Oh, Lord, you are so affectionate to your devotees. Please save us also. Their first thought was the cows, and the second thought was themselves. The cows and other animals shivering from the excessive rain and wind, and the cowherd men and ladies pained by the cold all approach Lord Govinda for shelter. Of course, he's going to give shelter. And he is now contemplating what this is all about. Since the demigods are endowed with the mode of goodness, the false pride of considering oneself the Lord should certainly not affect them. This is a nice painting showing all the water, people swimming and drowning in the water, and Krishna's lifting the Govardhan hill. Sri Krishna said to himself, because we have stopped his sacrifice, Indra has caused this unusually fierce, unseasonable rain, together with terrible winds and hail. By my mystic power, I will completely counteract this disturbance caused by Indra when I break the false prestige of those bereft of goodness. My purpose is to bring them relief. Krishna was doing this not to punish, but Krishna was doing to bring him relief from his pride. Krishna doesn't like pride in his devotees, right? So he may do something to relieve the devotees from pride. I must therefore protect the cowherd community by my transcendental potency, for I am their shelter. I am their master, and indeed, they are my own family. After all, I've taken a vow to protect my devotees. So there's the torrents of rain showing in the background, and Krishna wants to protect his devotees. With my mystic power, I will protect the people of Braja who have taken shelter of me, who consider me their Lord, and for all my relatives. So Krishna picked up Govardhan hill with one hand and held it as easily as a child holds up a mushroom. Not difficult for a child. The Lord then addressed the cowherd community. Oh, mother, oh, father, oh, residents of Braja, if you wish, you may now come under this hill with your cows. There they go, under the hill. There's the torrents of rain. It said the hill was feeling such ecstasy being touched by Krishna's hand that the hill didn't feel any discomfort of the lightning bolts hitting and the torrents of rain. It was just an ecstasy. In fact, the hill expanded. The hill expanded so much that the whole of Vrindavan, with all their animals and all their possessions and everything, could fit underneath the hill. And because this is a celebrated pastime, there's many, many, many paintings. This is showing water dripping off the top of the hill, but it doesn't show the floodwaters all around. This shows the floodwaters. So what made the floodwaters go away? There's 2 different explanations. There's probably more than 2. One of them is by simply Krishna's will, the water that was flooding in all directions didn't go underneath the hill. And there's a second explanation. Krishna sent his Sudarshan chakra to go zoom, zoom, zoom around Govardhan hill. By the heat of the Sudarshan chakra moving swiftly, the water evaporated. No water went underneath the hill. Everyone was safe. There they go, under the hill. Krishna's inviting them. And one of the essences of all this pastime was, besides curbing the pride of Indra, one of the essences of this pastime was Krishna wanted to fulfill the desires of his devotees. Because in Krishna's pastimes, sometimes he's in the village of Vrindavan and he's not with the cows. And sometimes he's with the cows and he's separated from the residents of the village of Vrindavan. Sometimes with his cowherd friends, and sometimes when the end of the day, he leaves his cowherd friends. So there's meeting and there's separation. We spoke about meeting and separation yesterday. I'm sure you remember meeting and separation. So he provided this opportunity so that for 7 days, uninterruptedly, they could get Krishna's association and he could be with them, fulfill their desires uninterruptedly, 7 days, 7 nights. They were very happy and he was very happy. By continuously drinking the nectar of the beauty and sweetness of Sri Krishna, the resident of Vrindavan felt no hunger for 7 days, no thirst, no sleep. They didn't have sleeping bags or yoga mats or anything like that. They just were with Krishna the whole time, seeing his beautiful form. Krishna's seeing them. Krishna also forgot about eating, drinking, sleeping. Many nice paintings depicting this pastime. Many nice details about what went on underneath that hill. One of the details was, as you see some of the cowherd men, they're using their cowherd sticks to lift the hill. They're thinking, poor Krishna. He's just a little boy. He had to stand up on a little mound because he's little, 7 years old. They lifted the hill, but he's not lifting the hill. We're lifting the hill with our cowherd sticks. They were thinking like that. Or another said, Krishna, you're using your left arm. Can you change to your right arm? And then we can massage your left arm. They're just seeing him as their friend or their son or their lover. They don't see him as the supreme. But although he's showing his supremacy, they're not seeing like that. Krishna assured them, you should have no fear that this mountain will fall from my hand. And don't be afraid of the wind and rain, for your deliverance from these afflictions has already been arranged. The minds pacified by Lord Krishna, they all entered beneath the hill, where they found ample room for themselves, all their cows, wagons, servants, and priests. That's a lot of cows. You know how many cows Nanda Maharaj has, right? How many? 900,000. That's a lot of cows. That's a lot of cows. And all their carts and all their paraphernalia and everything, all went underneath that hill. Krishna put aside all considerations of his pleasure. He stood there for 7 days, allowing people to get his association like that. And while they were seeing him, they're singing. They didn't need a songbook. They were singing the glories of Krishna over and over and over, glancing at him, smiling at him, drinking in his beauty. The men, the women, with eyes wide open, enjoying their loving affection and exchanges with him. It was perfection. Now you see up in the upper right, there's Indra. Indra kind of gets the message. Celebrated pastime. Therefore, there's many things written about it and many nice paintings. This is a very beautiful painting. This is all gopis together with Krishna and Radharani seated on the throne. Very special painting. So, after some time, is everything all right over there? Something fell over? It's okay. Here's a little detail. As I mentioned already, that thunderbolts were smashing into the top of the hill, but the hill didn't feel any discomfort. It felt like soft flowers because of the ecstasy of the hill. In other words, there's loving exchange takes one beyond pleasure and pain of the body and the mind. The Govardhan Hill was not even aware that thunderbolts were striking. As you see in the painting, there's many thunderbolts striking the hill. The hill is fine. The residents of Vrindavan are fine. From Harivamsa, that's another scripture, they quote Krishna as saying here in Sanskrit, Govardhan can give shelter to all the three worlds, what to speak of the simple land of Braja. Now, Indra is getting the message. He made a big offense. Even the wild animals, etc., they fit under the hill. They also were without thirst or hunger. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he's one of our great acharyas, he has commented that the Samvartaka cloud failed to flood the whole of Vrindavan underneath the hill simply by Krishna's will. I've already mentioned this. That's Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. And other commentators say it's connected with Manasi Ganga. And that's another very nice place, Govardhan Hill. Manasi Ganga, you've heard of it? You remember that aerial photo of Govardhan Hill? The tail, the head, and the middle torso. The middle torso is Govardhan town. And in Govardhan town, there's Manasi Ganga. Manasi Ganga, a very nice place. It's a whole description of how Manasi Ganga manifests. But by the side of Manasi Ganga, there's a place called Chakra Tirtha. Chakra Tirtha is the place where Sanatana Goswami made as one of his bhajan kutir places, Chakra Tirtha, because it is said Sudarshan Chakra was exhausted after 7 days and took rest there. It became known as Chakra Tirtha. And Sanatana Goswami, to enhance his meditation on Krishna's wonderful pastime of lifting Govardhan Hill, made that a bhajan kutir place. Anyway, more paintings, and more paintings of Krishna's lifting Govardhan Hill. It's such a celebrated pastime. There you see some of the little boys by Krishna's feet, really little ones. But he was pretty little too. Indra is observing all this. He understood the big mistake he made, the pride that was driving his big mistake. And so he ordered this Samvartaka cloud to desist. And when he ordered the Samvartaka cloud to desist, you see in the painting over on the right, there's the sun starting to shine. There's Sudarshan Chakra keeping everything dry. And Krishna is now speaking to the associates of Vrindavan underneath the hill. My dear cowherd men, please go with your wives. Please go with your wives, children, and possessions. Give up your fear. The wind and rain have stopped, and the river's high waters have subsided. The residents of Vrindavan, overwhelmed with ecstatic love, came forward to greet Krishna. according to their individual relationships, meaning parental affection, friends, servants, gopis. They were all together for a week. The demigods saw all this pastime. They're showering flowers. And a big festival in honor of Krishna's lifting of Govardhan Hill. Now there's many more slides, and I don't know if there's time to go through these many more slides. Many more slides. There's a whole lot of prayers by Lord Indra, which are very beautiful. So I think I'm just going to skip because of our time factor. But here's Indra. Behind him is Airavata. By his side is Surabhi. And he bows before Krishna and offers his very lengthy and very beautiful prayers where, let me just read a few of them. He requested Krishna to go to a solitary place because he was so embarrassed. And he placed his helmet at Krishna's feet. What he had heard about Krishna before, now he's seen it in person. Krishna is all-powerful. And he spoke to Krishna in the following words. Your transcendental form, a manifestation of pure goodness, is undisturbed by change, shining with knowledge and devoid of passion and ignorance. In you does not exist the mighty flow of the modes of material nature, which is based on illusion and ignorance. In the painting, you see the Airavata elephant carried celestial waters from the heavenly realm and is bathing Krishna with those celestial waters that he was holding in his trunk and then just released it and bathed Krishna. There's a place on the western side of Govardhan Hill called Airavata Kund. And that Airavata Kund is on the opposite side of the Parikrama path. And on the Govardhan Hill side, there's a big stone where it is said that's Airavata's footprint. A big impression, the shape of an elephant's footprint. How then could there exist in you the symptoms of an ignorant person, such as greed, lust, anger, and envy, which are produced by one's previous involvement in material existence? It's very nice, and I'm a little concerned about time. So I'm not going to read all these nice prayers, but I invite you, it's in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Indra's prayers. I'll just share this much. Once upon a time, some years ago, I wanted to stay in Vrindavan for Kartik month, but I'm too much service-minded, so I couldn't figure out how to do it. And then when I found out that Burijan Prabhu had, many years ago, had begun the Vrindavan Institute for Higher Education for the month of Kartik, teachers would come and teach a course. So I came and taught courses for the month of Kartik in Vrindavan. I had a service to do with that substantiated my being there. I'm too service-minded. And one year I thought, you know what would be a nice topic? Prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam. Whoa. Do you know how many prayers there are in Srimad Bhagavatam? It's like so many prayers. There's 18,000 verses. I didn't count how many prayers. I had too many toes and fingers, but it's a lot of prayers. And then there's different types of prayers and categories of prayers, so that's kind of what I ended up doing. Prayers of request, prayers of glorification, prayers citing Sambandha Gyan, prayers of dedication of oneself to Krishna, different categories of prayers. So this is one of those. This is a prayer of regret and supplication, but he's also stating very clearly Krishna's position. So it's Sambandha to understand The relationship of the source of everything with everything. That's sambandha. And he's appealing to Krishna, please excuse me, essentially. So this is sambandha. This is Krishna's position. The Father and spiritual master of the entire universe is supreme controller, your unsurmountable time, etc., 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 etc. Many nice prayers. And you've been very kind upon me. All the while, Krishna didn't say anything. He didn't say boo. He just listened. He let Indra cleanse his heart by offering all these nice prayers to Krishna. And he understood he could have punished him very severely, but it wasn't a punishment. He humbled him, and he released Indra from pride. That's what Krishna did. And at the same time, he gave all the residents of Vrindavan the opportunity to be together with him for 7 days and 7 nights uninterrupted. That's Krishna. So prayers and prayers and prayers. Hear this one. Engrossed in pride over my ruling power, ignorant of your majesty, I offended you. May you forgive me. My intelligence was bewildered, but let my consciousness never again be so impure. Of course, some of these are very simple drawings like this one. Some are very nice paintings like this one. His appeal, more glorification and more glorification, but he's offering obeisances and asking for forgiveness in a very humble mood, as the illustrations show. When all of this is going on, there's the Airavata elephant again, pouring his water from the celestial rivers upon Krishna, bathing Krishna. The painting looks like he's bathing Indra, but he's bathing Krishna. And there's also Surabhi, and she's bathing Krishna with her transcendental milk. So, as the text says, Surabhi performed his bathing ceremony with her own milk, and Indra is worshiping him, and she, Surabhi, gives him the name Govinda. Very significant. Indra is not our Lord. You are our Lord. And therefore, go Vinda. Go the cows. One who gives pleasure and protection to the cows. And so Indra circumambulates Krishna and goes back to his abode, riding his Airavata elephant. And the whole of Vrindavan has been thoroughly cleansed and joyful, being with Krishna for 7 days. Govardhan Hill is put exactly back into the same place where it was, seamlessly. And life in Vrindavan went on, singing the songs of Govinda and Gopal and Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Govardhan Dhari, and so many nice names of Krishna resulting from this nice pastime. So all this happened the day after Diwali, which is today. Of course, it took 7 days to lift the hill, but the puja for Govardhan was today. So we're celebrating Govardhan Puja all around the world. Discussion. You're all very patient. But it's nice hearing pastimes of Krishna, isn't it? Even the song at the beginning, yes, the song at the beginning. It's just a very simple. The lyrics are very simple. But it's so pleasing, just, who has arranged this worship of Govardhan? Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Who has arranged this worship of Govardhan? Krishna, Krishna. We're getting the microphone ready. Yeah, but back here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Try again.
Hare Krishna.
Try again.
Hare Krishna.
Keep trying. Just keep speaking with me.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Grace, for a beautiful story. I have two questions, but I'll ask first one. If, I'll wait. Why 7 days?
Why not? That's not a magic number. It's not some, numerology issue going on. It's not just some 7 days. It's just 7 days. There may be some esoteric
I wonder if any reason.
lucky 7 or something like that. I don't think it has anything to do with numerology.
I thought maybe more teaching would lay within this time when the 7 days was passing by.
I'll tell you what, I'll ask some very learned Prabhus and Maharajas, and if I come up with an answer, I'll pass it on to Satyasara, he can circulate it, however you circulate. But I've never heard that question. And I've certainly never heard the answer.
Interesting. Maybe next year will be more information.
Okay. It's your second question.
And a second question, how comes Indra didn't know about Krishna?
Oh, he
by then?
did. He was just, pride covers everything. Pride and envy, those two fellows, they destroy everything. So
So he knew.
he was proud, and his pride was insulted. His pride got stepped on. What? This little whippersnapper? I'll show them. Boom. So, and he's powerful, but powerful people plus pride makes it for a problem. That's the reason was pride. It can blind people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Here comes microphone.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for your class. My question was, is Govardhan this Krishna in the same way like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna?
Yes, not exactly, but yes. I mean, the form obviously is different, but the mood of Krishna in the mood of being the servant of Krishna is the point of similarity. So, some people worship Govardhan as Krishna. Some persons have Govardhan Shilas and they worship, they have a peacock feather. So they worship Govardhan in a flute and paraphernalia that Krishna would have. They worship Krishna in that mood. And at the same time, Krishna is, or Govardhan is, the best of all the servants. So it's not the same, but it's similar. Nice question. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, many devotees have deities of Gaura in their home. And he's being worshipped as the personality of Godhead. We worship him as the personality of Godhead. At the same time, his mood is the servant of Krishna. And therefore this worship of Govardhan is unique in that it brings us very swiftly into the, I guess you could say, the esoteric nature or the sweetness nature, the madhurya nature of Braja Lila. Because Govardhan is Krishna in the mood of serving Krishna and very intimate service to Krishna. The worship of Govardhan is very, very special. Very special. And therefore, the, our Goswamis, yeah, they wrote many, many astakas and prayers, etc., glorifying Govardhan. I mean, for example, Rupa Goswami's writings in Nectar of Instruction, the most sacred place in the universe. Most sacred place in the universe is Govardhan, and most sacred is in Govardhan is Radhakund, because the love that Radha has for Krishna is so intimately and abundantly manifest there. So Govardhan is very special. Yes, like Lord Chaitanya. Different, I mean, Govardhan Hill isn't broadcasting the chanting of the holy name. Mahaprabhu is doing that also. Okay. Something else? Anything over?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I have a question.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Maharaj, are there any other hills like Govardhan Hill, which was
Are there any more
hills or mountains
hills?
with a similar story?
I know that there are. They're not popping into my mind at the moment. Huh? Yeah, it's the carrying of the hill, but is that what you mean? The mountain that Hanuman carried, that had all the herbs, etc., etc. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean like Krishna coming as or-
Krishna manifesting himself as a hill.
yeah.
or something like that.
Yes, and worshipping a hill.
In the back of my mind, there's something rattling around, but it's not coming to mind. So, Govardhan is very special. Okay. Let's call it an evening. And it's time for what? Time for prasadam?
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for sharing the glories of Govardhan Hill and its pastimes. Just to summarize your talk, you kindly let us know about the appearance of Giriraj as Govardhan in this world by tricking Pulastya Muni and how it resulted in it being cursed. How Govardhan is considered the best of Krishna's devotees by Radharani herself, and how Krishna took to preaching atheistic Karma Vimansa philosophy to set up the precedent of worshipping Govardhan Hill, providing Vrajvasis with detailed instructions on how to do it. The reason for this was, of course, checking Indra's pride, but the deeper reason was to provide direct and uninterrupted association to the Vrajvasis. So, on behalf of Hare Krishna Temple and all the devotees, I would like to sincerely thank you for taking out your time and being present amongst us. We all look forward eagerly to associating with you more and more in the years to come. Thank you. Hare Krishna. The next up, we'll have Kirtan by Kimberly, and we'll all head outside. Thank you.
Okay.